across the country, and we know that they work, and we know that there's increasing demand, as particularly people more aware of managing waste and becoming sustainable. So we know that as a model, scrap stores work. A lot have a membership system. We don't. We sometimes find that's a bit of a barrier. So we have our Caribe coffee sacks, and you come and fill one of those, and that's £10. So we can make a small income from that. And as we grow and get sort of more regular opening hours rather than just pop-up events, we'll hopefully be able to increase that income. And like I say, we've got other income streams as well. The scrap store will bring in a small amount of funding, but we also have several other projects that we run, including inclusive volunteering projects, and in time selling our activity boxes as well. So we're confident that we will be able to generate enough income to carry on going, but we couldn't got our first place without Ashington Town Council. We were able to immediately increase our volunteers. We've got a brilliant gang who come and help unpack and set up the scrap store and run the scrap store sessions, and they don't tear their hair out, even though I've wrecked the place again with another donation. We get it all squirreled away, but we've been able to increase those numbers because we're in a little office, and also our stock was in a storage container, so we couldn't really do a lot then. So it's now got much busier. First of all, we couldn't have done this without Ashington Town Council. Like you say, it's usually a minimum of 12 months plus the deposit, and as a volunteer-led organisation, we're very risk-averse. So having had a bit of a pop-up and tested the waters and knew that this would work, we then had to find enough funding to be able to sign a lease, and the support of Ashington Town Council has allowed us to do that. We've had a lot of interest in people who'd like to kind of help out, and we're hoping to develop different ways in which people can help, one of which will probably be going collecting donations from businesses. It's quite hard for us to get out and do that as well, but it also allows us to increase our inclusive volunteering. So we have several projects that allow people who couldn't do formal volunteering, so they couldn't go and perhaps work one day a week in a charity shop. We have projects that allow them to volunteer in whichever way they want. We work with social prescribers and other organisations where people work remotely, so that it might be that they'll have a pack of something that we've had donated and they'll process that, or they'll do some bits for our activity boxes. But we've also now be able to invite groups in, so perhaps some of our groups of adults with learning difficulties will be able to come here and get a feel for a workplace and do some volunteering as a group here, which makes it more efficient, but it's also really good for them to get out into the community and know that they are helping their communities. I mean, if businesses can arrange to bring us stuff, that's obviously the most help. But yeah, on our website there's a leaflet for businesses about donating to us and the sort of things we can take. And we just think of it in terms of anything that's safe and clean and can be reused, particularly for creative play. Depending on the generation, I talk to people about if they remember making stuff from Blue Peter. Tracy Island tends to be the one that people like, I wish I'd made that. If the young generation's Mr. Maker, so those kind of arts and crafts materials, and anything that could be reused, scrap modelling, whether it's offcuts of electrical trunking or it might be packaging, but there's a list on there of the things we can take, and we just say get in touch if there's something that you think we might be able to use. So at the minute we mainly use our very old-fashioned Facebook page. We are working on adding Insta, as it's called, but we also have a comprehensive website. So our up-to-date information about our next events is always on our Facebook page, and then information about donating and volunteering and our activity boxes is on our website.